aspirants. This is me, Yasmin Gill, presenting to you the PIB MCQs of 18th of January. So let's begin. Firstly, you can also rate and review the course, plus beginning with a couple of instructions. Do watch yesterday's PIB summary, plus as soon as you attempt all these questions, do mention your scorecard. Beginning with the first question, somewhat of did yesterday did in the PIB. So which among them is true of National Small Savings Fund? A. NSSF was created in the Consolidated Fund of India since 1999. B. The balance in the fund is invested in special government securities as per the norms decided by the central government. C. Both of them are correct, or D. None of them is correct. Well, the correct answer to it is only B is correct. Why? Because yesterday I just mentioned, though it was not written, that NSSF comes under the Public Account of India. So coming to next question. What is true of Public Account of India? A. Public Account of India is mentioned in Article 267 of the Indian Constitution. B. Public Account of States is mentioned in Article 266 of the Constitution. C. Payment from this account can be made only via parliamentary appropriation. So, looking at the options here, see, the correct answer is only B is the correct answer. Why? See, firstly, both Consolidated Fund of India, states, as well as the Public Account of India and states, everything comes under Article 266. Now, do mention in the comment section what is Article 267 then for. So, we have here only B as the correct option. If you look at C, payment can be made only via parliamentary appropriation. No, this is not the case with public account. It's public's money and it can be made even without parliamentary appropriation. So, we here have only B as the correct option. Next question. What is true of International Vaccine Institute? A. It was initially created as an initiative of United Nations Development Programme. B. IVI is officially established under the Seoul Convention as an independent autonomous international organization. C. Their vision is to see developing and developed countries free of suffering from infectious diseases. So, looking at the options, we know recently India has, Cabinet has approved India's full membership to its governing council. So, looking at the options, the first one is absolutely correct. Initially began as an initiative of United Nations Development Programme. If you look at C part, this is wrong. Why? Because its vision is primarily for the developing countries. So, we here have C as the wrong answer. And if you look at B, IVI is established under the Seoul Convention. No. Though it is based in Korea, but it is not under the Seoul Convention, rather it is under the Vienna Convention. So, we here have only A as the correct option. Next question. What is true of the upcoming Gender Literature Festival? A. It is to be organized in Patna. B. The festival is being organized by Gender Resource Center under Women Development Corporation of Bihar Social Welfare Board. C. Bihar is also the state which has made 33% of women reservation compulsory in local bodies and panchayats. So, if you look at the options here, see, the first part is absolutely correct. It is to be organized in Patna. B is also correct. If you look at C, no, Bihar has gone a step ahead and it has come up with 50% reservation. So, we here have A and B as the correct options. Next question. What is true among these? A. As per the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act, no construction is allowed in prohibited area. B. Prohibited area is an immediate 50-meter radius around the monuments. C. Repair and renovation is also prohibited. D. Permission for construction in the regulated area, that is 200-meter radius, is granted by the National Monuments Authority. So, why news will come to it in the next slide. Hereby the option C, the first one is correct. In the prohibited area, no construction is allowed as of now. If you look at B, prohibited area is not 50, rather it is 100-meter radius. C. Repair and renovation of the existing structure is allowed. So, this is wrong. If you look at D, regulated area, it is 200 meter, and in this particular area, yes, permissions are granted by National Monument Authority. So, we here have A and D as the correct answer. So, see why this is in news, because there is a proposal that the prohibited area, in the prohibited area as well, that is the 100-meter radius as well, we may think of construction which is to be used for public usage, or which is to be built by public authorities, right? So, but this is just a proposal and it remains to be seen whether it will be approved or not. But yes, right now in the 100-meter radius of any archaeological monument, construction is not at all allowed. Next, what is true of Hilsa? A. It is also known as Indian shad. B. Hilsa fish is a fish of salt water. C. Hilsa is the national fish of Myanmar. D. During breeding period, it comes to the big rivers and lays eggs there. So, maybe you have heard of it because it was in news last year also because of India's conservation efforts with that particular country. So, looking at the options here, so the first one, absolutely correct. Also known as Indian shad. B. It is a fish of salt water, correct. And during breeding, it comes to big waters or big rivers, also correct. If you look at C, not the national fish of Myanmar, rather it is the national fish of Bangladesh. So now on West Bengal is trying to introduce penal provisions in Indian Penal Code and CRPC, that is Criminal Procedure Code, in order to conserve their excessive fishing. So this is all about Hilsa, and India has also entered into collaboration with Bangladesh to save this particular fish. Next, what is true among these of stem cells? A. Pluripotent stem cells have the ability to differentiate into all possible cell types. B. Induced pluripotent stem cells are derived artificially. C. Usually an adult cell is used to induce pluripotency. D. Pluripotent stem cells have the ability of rapid proliferation. So see, looking at the options, the first one, pluripotent stem cells cannot differentiate into every possible cell type. It is totipotent. Pluripotent can into most of the possible cell types, but not all of them. If you look at B part, induced pluripotency, yes, because it is induced, it is derived artificially, correct. Usually an adult cell is used, yes. In fact, that is the benefit of induced pluripotency, that embryonic stem cells need not be used. If you look at D part, pluripotent stem cells have the ability of rapid proliferation or division. Yes, this is absolutely correct. So we here have B, C, D as the correct options. So what has happened is, when this new technique of induced pluripotency came up, scientists and researchers actually highlighted the advantages of it, saying that it will be able to treat various diseases. But what has happened is, due to certain reasons, which will okay, the reason is given here. I thought maybe it is in the next question. So what happens is, due to rapid proliferation, there is a possibility that an oncogene might be formed. Oncogene is a cancer-causing gene. The onco word itself is for cancer. So due to the rapid proliferation, sometimes cancer-causing gene might be found. Therefore, the hype which was created in the treatment of diseases, that has been subdued. So there was recently an article in Indian Express regarding the same. So it was day before yesterday. You can go into the same. So hereby we have B, C, D as the correct option. Next question. What is true of stem cells? A. They have the ability of self-renewal. B. Embryonic stem cells are pluripotent stem cells. C. Initially induced pluripotent stem cells were thought to be developed from a patient's own somatic cells. So looking at the options here, the first one absolutely correct, self-renewal. B. Pluripotent cells, yes, embryonic stem cells are pluripotent in nature. If you look at C, initially they were thought, in fact this was the very much benefit of it, that there will be no rejection from the patient's body. Why? Because the very adult cells that will be used to induce pluripotency would be patient's own cells. So in that case, for example, recently skin cells have been taken from a particular patient's body. Later on, they were converted or differentiated into retina cells and hence by used to restore the vision of the same patient. So there was no rejection as such. But now what has been found is that when we remove the supposedly skin cells and keep it aside, what happens is they rapidly proliferate. This might lead to a possibility of oncogene, and therefore what we are trying is, we'll try to come up with some other patients or some other person's cells to induce that pluripotency. So initially what was thought to be the benefit, that is no rejection might be there, now it has come into question. So we here have all of these as the correct options. Also you can follow the same article for of Indian Express regarding the same. Next, which is true among them? A. Gene Cernan was the last astronaut to walk on moon. B. He belonged to Russia. C. The mission that carried him was Apollo 17. So recently Gene Cernan has died, and the correct answer to this question is A and C. He belonged to US, and yes, he was the last astronaut to walk on moon. So we here have A and C as the correct option. Next, what is true of caves swiftlet? So it's amazing fact about it. So it was written in Hindu's online edition. So looking at the options here, A. Their nests are considered a delicacy, especially in China. B. Swiftlets nests in colonies made up of thousands of birds. C. The limestone caves that line the Russia-China coast are the favored hunting grounds for the same. So looking at the options here, amazing fact that yes, their nests are considered a delicacy, especially in China. And if you look at B, yes, they nest in a colony which is made up of some thousands of birds. And C is wrong. Why? Because these limestone caves mark the Indo-China coast and not the Russia-China coast. So we here have A and B as the correct option. Also, you'll be amazed to find that during the breeding season, what happens is that this particular bird, that is cave swiftlet, its salivary glands or salivary glands, they come up with a lot of, they produce a lot of saliva, and this saliva actually helps in building up the nest, which is later on consumed by some of the Chinese people. So we here have A and B as the correct option. So friends, that's it for today. If you find the initiative useful, do not forget to rate and review it. Thank you so much.